Alright, so doing a little bit of practice for OP5. Figured we'd set it up, give it a shot with a couple different fleets since the OWPs are going to be a little bit more challenging this time around as compared to the last time we saw them. So we got a mixed fleet with the Shatang and the Mata with the independent flagship and all sorts of good stuff. I'll link all the cards and everything in the description or put it up on the screen. But we also got, here's our basic setup, and then we're putting that up against a United Force Romulan fleet with the Valdor, the Khazara, and the Praetus. So this is our initial setup. Kind of surprised at how much we could spread out the OWPs, but with the range 2 shooting, it's pretty much going to cover the entire board. There's really no way to escape any of it. So we ended up setting up kind of jousting with each other over here. So, but this is our initial setup. We'll come back after round 1. So round 1, pretty uneventful. Just moved up a little bit with the Klingons. Cloaked, evade. Got shot at by the one OWP, and the Mata rolled pretty well and was able to evade everything there. The Romulans moved up a little bit as well, but the Praetus rolled a battle station when it cloaked, so of course it unfortunately took a damage right off the bat, and the Khazara was just outside of range of that one OWP there, so no shots fired there. So pretty uneventful. We'll move on to round 2. All right, so this round did not go very well for the Romulans. They pushed forward probably a little bit further than they should have. Klingons rushed forward as fast as they could, and the Shatang was just within range 2 of the Khazara and unloaded a barrage of fire, but that happened after after the Mata, which had Miles O'Brien. He had disabled the interface generator that was on the Khazara, and 11 shots total between the Shatang, the flagship modified Mata, and then since it was right at range 2, all their friendly ships with the range 1 of your flagship getting +1 attack when firing at range 2 to 3. So since it was right at range 2, that made it a total of 11 shots. All 11 hit, and the Romulans' natural inability to modify the dice, that's really where it happened. There were a total of 4 evades, but it still left a total of 7 damage. So that was just crazy. And then attacking back, now that the flagship wasn't there to boost the Valdor, the Praetus, they're rolling natural, 4 dice or 5 dice. And again, since the Romulans didn't have any natural ability to modify those dice in any sort of major quantities, it just did not go well at all. So that's really the surprising takeaway. A pure Romulan fleet just can't do the same tricks that a tinkered mixed faction fleet or even a Federation fleet can really throw out there. And that was the deciding factor. Well, and also, of course, Miles O'Brien. I used to never run Miles before, but with all the interface generators that I saw at the last OP here in town, and Varel and all these other crazy things, I'm like, it's probably time to start running him, and it did prove to be basically the deciding factor, because at this point it's just going to be cleanup. The Shatang and the Mata will push forward, the Praetus will do what it can, but it's going to be pretty easy prey, especially now that everything's dropped. After target locks, they'll put on the concussive charges from the Shatang, and yeah, it's just not going to go well. So Major takeaways: Miles O'Brien, just amazing to really knock out the ability of those interface generators, which then opens up, of course, the barrage of fire. Second takeaway would be if you're going faction pure with the Romulans, just not being able to modify the dice as much as some of the other factions can, or when you start mixing in, different factions. So real interesting. The OWPs in this particular game didn't play too much of a factor, other than forcing the teams into, or the fleets into a joust over here on the side, just to avoid everything that was over here. Might try in our next test game. We might try a different fleet for the Romulans, and just see if maybe do a mixed fleet, and maybe instead target the OWPs and kind of deploy in a different way. So we'll see how we'll give that one a shot next. But thanks for watching.